And just to follow up on that, Dr. Lathan, I think our current interim superintendent has been quoted in the press in the past as having said that there is a possibility that the district will need to close more schools in order to save more money. Mm-hmm. And we have heard about that in Kansas. We've heard about that in Detroit and other places. Coming in as a new superintendent, do you foresee that as a possibility in order to try to get the district to where you'd like it to be?
I think it has to be on the table at this point, to be very honest. It is, once again, today I met so many community members that grew up in Peoria. They talked about graduating from Manual High School, graduating from Peoria High, and they talked about that. And I know this district is rich in alumni, but we must also be able to provide a sound education and quality education for children, and that might mean closing schools. Like I said, it's not at the top of our list, but if we need to close schools in order to ensure that we have the right number of staff and we can provide the number of services that are needed so our children can compete globally, I think that we have to consider that.
Now, on the flip side of that, there's also been a lot of talk with the charter school starting up around here. Do you have a stance, a feeling about that and how that's coming along?
I know the charter school, the board has been meeting and working, the charter school board, very open to choice. I am a parent also, so I believe that we should have choice. I believe we should partner with all groups that are providing education, but I believe there needs to be accountability, whether you're a charter school or a private school or a public school, that parents and citizens should hold us accountable for what we say we're going to do.
Going back to the organizational chart, what are some of the first positions that you're going to be looking to start hiring for?
The Chief Curriculum and Instructions Officer, the Chief Administrative Officer, the Instructional Improvement Officers. Those will be the people that will be supervising our principals, and also looking at the Title I Director position and Special Ed Director.
Is there a deadline when you have to, or you hope to have all those people hired?
There's not a deadline. I would hope, since my timeline keeps changing, I have to change that timeline for HR, but I'm hoping to have everything, all the positions at least named and filled by my entry in June.
And when do you start? Is it July 1st or June? When does that? I know your timeline.
June 1st, but I'm sure I will be here prior to June 1st.
You have you mentioned student achievement. You have a track record behind you of increased student achievement and where you've been. What is the secret to it, as far as your success in getting kids to improve?
Assembling an outstanding team of educators that believe that all children can succeed. We oftentimes say, we want parents and we want parent input, we know, but parents must work. And so for me, it's having the values and beliefs and the people assembled around me with the same values and belief that we're going to give children everything we have. So when they enter our doors at 7:30 or 9:05 until 3:35, they're getting everything that we have to offer in the way of a quality education, a constant professional development, constant analyzation of data. We analyze and then we would make changes as needed. So I had a team that were always willing to make the changes based on the needs of the children, not the needs of the adults. And you will hear me when I say no excuses, just results. It's about the needs of children, not the adults. If the adults are looking to have their needs met, they need to go somewhere else.
Now, is that going to be more difficult to accomplish with, you were saying with Springfield, not knowing, where some of these resources are going to be coming from, having fewer resources? Is that going to be a more difficult thing to accomplish in one thing?
I think it'll be difficult, but I don't think that it's impossible. I think like I said, once again, when we look at our school improvement grants, we look at our Title I dollars, and we look at our funding source, we need to make sure every dollar that we receive goes into providing a quality education for children, and that we are examining how we are spending. If it's $5, we better make that $5 go a long way. But it's important to focus on not just paying people and bringing in consultants or just hiring people to be hiring people, that we are truly getting the best in the services that we are paying people to provide.
Will you have a job coach when you first get here, or do you know who that's going to be yet?
No, I don't know. Maybe you all will let me know. That's been a big thing. So you find out and let me know. After I've met quite a few impressive people today that I'd like to hire them and from my tour. So, yeah.
How does a person like that help you, when you first start?
I think because, like I said, oftentimes things, especially now, are so difficult and challenging, especially with I think mainly for me, it would be the budget situation, coming back to Illinois, but coming as a superintendent as opposed to a principal, it's a totally different arena now. So for me, that job coach will be available to help me through the budget challenges until we ensure, I understand for the entire Illinois process and just getting grounded. As I laugh sometimes, like, okay, am I in California now? Am I North Carolina? So being able to have someone that you can to work and navigate to just do those waters.
To kind of go along with your last point, the district's issuing the deepest levels of pink slips it has in years. It's got a around $9 million deficit from last year. Dr. Durflinger said $6 million operational deficit. So how can Peoria become the premier district if given those financial situations?
We can, once again, I think it goes back to looking at our school improvement plans, focusing on every dollar that we spend, understanding that this might be the last time that we receive another dollar, and just looking at the services that we put in place, looking at the staff that we hire, knowing that they're here for the long run, that they're willing to participate in professional development. That means sometimes participating and not being paid, but they're willing to do that because they want what's best for the children that they've been entrusted to take care of and to educate. So it will be difficult, but I think we can develop a plan with what we have. We have some outstanding leaders and outstanding community people. We have retired teachers that we're willing to come in and serve as a reading buddy or a peer. If they are wanted and respected for the skills that they bring to the table, I think we can get people around to help us.
Dr. Lathan,
Yes,
I know
sir.
you've been reaching out to the business community, to the political communities, to the minority leadership community. How important is it that those folks that met you and are supporting you today continue to work with you in your staff?
It's extremely important because, and I thank you for asking me that, because I think people need to understand if I fail, this entire district and this entire community fails. So it's important for people to keep reaching out. As I said earlier today, I will accept the criticism, but I'm asking you, when you throw out the criticism, throw out some solutions and come to the table and help me develop a plan so that we can move forward.
What would you like city officials to do specifically, or what would you like the community to do to help out the district?
Participate in ongoing communications. One of the things we talked about today, Dr. Colley and I talked about, is scheduling that time on a monthly basis for us to kind of connect with each other, sit down and talk about what the issues are. And so establishing those meetings in the community, sitting down and developing a plan. I'm not one to meet just to meet. I don't have the time for that. So when we sit down, we're going to come with an agenda, then we're going to get to work. And when we leave, everyone's going to have a task that they need to complete before the next time that we get together. So that's important for me.
Will you be bringing staff with you to?
I'm working to recruit some staff that I've worked with in previous districts. Like I said, these tough times make it hard for people to leave their comfort zone, to leave what they know, but I am working to recruit people. Hopefully 2 to 3 people, and I'm hoping that we can tap into the other resources that are already here in the district.
Now, how many groups have you actually met with today since you've been here?
I met with 4 different groups today, nice size groups, but 4 different groups today. And then yesterday I had visits at 4 different school sites. And so it's been a wonderful experience.
Can you talk a little bit about the goal setting? Of course, yesterday that was an executive session, but what are some of the goals that you would hope that either the board gave you or that you're looking to do?
Like I said, once again, focusing on improving student achievement. Like I said, we started the conversation yesterday. That's the first time that we've gathered together since the interview process. So I wanted to hear from all individual board members and to look at those 7 priorities that the board created in January. And so we started talking about those priorities, but with the focus on number 1, which is improving student achievement, and number 3, which was a part of the culture, changing the culture or improving the culture and climate here. So that's important.
What was your first impressions of the city, let alone not just the people you saw today, but overall? Because I know you've been here other times.
Other times, very impressed. I'm hoping that that downtown area will continue to grow and people will, because when we've been here at night, it's just dark, it's vacant. So hopefully people will take advantage of that, and that some different events that we can host down there as a school district and get people out and involved. But I'm excited about the excitement of the community members that are ready to partner with District 150. I think that's very important. And I think there's room at the table for everyone, not just certain officials, but I think anyone that wants to get involved and truly make a difference in the lives of children, that we welcome them to the table.